This is a book, but not like any other book. This is the key to unlock more potential, more power, and more possibilities. By adding the tag mage, you will obtain this book that lets you cast a spell that can destroy your enemies. But how? How will I make this? It all started 1 week ago where this creation is suggested by my subscribers in my Discord server.
Hey guys, what should I make?
Make a spellbook.
Okay.
So I actually decided to build this thing in Minecraft using commands. But before we start with this project, we need to accomplish 3 goals, which is first is to make a selector system where we can choose what spells we're going to be casting. Second is to make a particle casting system using commands. And lastly, make the actual spells. But before we proceed, I would like to introduce you to GEARUP Booster. GEARUP Booster is an app that helps optimize your game, allowing you to get higher FPS and lower ping, so you can just focus on uninterrupted and smooth gameplays. I use this app every day, and if you're interested too, just click the link in the description and don't forget to use my code MELLOW to get a free VIP. And now, we will start in making the selector system. So first, what I wanted to do is to give all of the players with a tag mage a book. And it's actually really easy, we just need to use the /give command that gives a player an enchanted book with a data of 1. Next, we wanted to detect whenever the player is crouching in order to select the actual spells. But how are we going to do that? So the first thing I made is to create a scoreboard to record the score of the player crouching. And to detect whenever the player is crouching, we just need to check 1.5 blocks above the player and detect if the player is not in that range, then we're going to add 1 to their score. And we're just going to reset their score to 0 unless they stop sneaking. With that done, we just need to make another scoreboard that we will use to actually decide what spells we're going to be using. Using the crouch detection system, we just detect whenever the player is holding a book, and if the player is crouching, we're going to add 1 in their spell selector. And if the spell selector reaches 5, we will reset the value to 0 so the selector can cycle throughout the spells we're going to make. Then, I just connected it inside a tilde command, and now the spell selector system is done. Next, we need to make the particle casting system, where we need to detect whenever the player drops an item, which in this case the book. But before we proceed with that, I also added a mana system by adding a scoreboard called mana and adding 1 to all of the player that has a tag mage. And to proceed with the drop detection system, we just need to check if the player is holding a book and testing if there's any item within the player radius, and we're going to execute from that item and adding a tag to the player before killing the item. With that, I made a system that whenever the player drops a book, it will play a sound. And if the player doesn't have enough mana, it actually tells you on the side that you don't have enough mana. I also added a cooldown system, so if we activate the command, we should be able to get a short cooldown.
Nice.
With that done, I thought everything was going smoothly until I started making the particle system. First, we need to figure out how to make a circle using particles. And how are we going to do that? By summoning our armor stand and using this command. This command will make the armor stand spin, and by using the caret symbol, we can execute 1.2 blocks wherever the armor stand is facing. And as you can see, now we have a circle. But it shouldn't actually be in the armor stand. Instead, it should be in the player position. So with a bit of tweaking with the command, now we have a circle in the player position. Now we just need to figure out how to make a triangle. And to do that, we just need to summon another armor stand, and we will make this armor stand spin twice the opposite direction where the first armor stand is facing. And by executing 0.8 blocks from the first armor stand, we're going to run another execute command 0.24 blocks where the second armor stand is facing. And now we have a circle and a triangle, but we need to make a hexagon, so it would actually look more like an actual magic circle. Which means we need to make another triangle and invert it upside down. And to do that, we just need to turn the 0.8 and the 0.24 values to negative. And now, we have an actual magic circles. But here's the problem. This particle system is already good enough for me, but what I wanted to do is to make it face the same way where the player is facing, rather than just laying flat in the ground. And to do that, we need to summon a boat which copies the player angle, and using this command, we're going to invert where the boat is facing, forming this triangle in the execute command. And by using the formula we've used to get the player angle, we're going to use that in projecting the geometric shapes we've made using particles. And now, if we activated the commands, we now have a circle wherever the player is facing. Now, we just need to copy the commands for the other two triangle particles. With that done, now, whenever we activate the commands by dropping this book, we now have a fully completed particle casting system. Now, it's finally time to make the actual spell. With that, we just need to use a projectile system where we summon another boat facing the same way as the player. With this, we just need to add a particle effect and teleport the boat 0.1 blocks forward where the boat is facing. Now, we have a fully completed projectile system, but it doesn't actually look like an actual lightning. Good thing I made the Flash in Minecraft where I made lightning particle system. So we just need to copy the commands here, and I also added a damage system and a block detection system, and now the commands are complete. With all of the things done, it's time to test this command block creation into a couple of test subjects.
I have been summoned. By who?
But first, let me show you how the particle system actually look like. So I have here a villager, and we will see how many hits it will take before we kill this villager. It only takes 2 hits, which I think is really balanced. And now, let's try on an iron golem. God damn, bro. That took way too long. Iron Golem took 10 hits before it dies. Now, let's try this on our friend.
I have been summoned. By who?
If you notice, Fantasy and I don't have a mic because he suddenly joined my world while I was recording for another clip, so I'll just slap a voiceover for Fantasy to make the vid more interesting.
I have been summoned. By who?
By me.
I got this!
Perfect timing, by the way.
Nah, I predicted you. Checkmate. What does this thing do?
Oh, you shot me. I'll shoot you back.
Come and hit me. Ow, that's sick. I mean, that's mid. You can't hit me.
How the hell did I miss you, bro?
You missed. And I don't because I'm not aiming at you.
Well, you can't hit me here.
Who decided that? Your aim is so not majesty.
Fantasy's cooking me right now. Not gonna lie.
Whoa, that's just cool. I mean, that is rather magnificent.
What you think about the commands?
Honestly, that's impressive. You killed me, ha ha ha. That's cool, I might say.
Oh, really? Thanks. So now I can say that this creation is Fantasy approved, and just like he said, I think this creation is really cool, especially the casting system. It is so satisfying, and if you're interested too with the commands, I will provide a download link once we've finished all of the spells we're going to make. But if you want to access the command early, you can join my membership, and I assure you that you will get a ton of benefits like early access to my vids, special shoutouts, special role to my Discord server, and more. So if you would like to support me further, just click the link in the description to join the Melos Command Army today. Wait, haven't you subscribed yet? Subscribe right now, or else I'll find you using commands. Bye!